Hey y'all, welcome back to Believe Your Vision. If you are new here, I am Toya and I'm a purpose and confidence coach, and I help leaders, entrepreneurs, and mentors overcome fear, believe in their vision, and walk boldly and confidently in their purpose. And today we're actually talking about how to find your purpose, right? If you haven't already watched the video that I did last week I was talking about the difference between passion and purpose. And this week we're actually going to talk about how to find your purpose, because I know a lot of times, and especially for me, trying to find that, it was a struggle at first. It was hard. So today, that's what we are going to talk about. Before we get started, if you have not already subscribed to our channel, make sure that you click the notifications so you can receive all of the updates the next time I post my videos. I post videos on every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. All right, so let's get into it. So just a few ways in reference to how to find your purpose, and actually how I was able to find my purpose, was first and foremost, I prayed, right? I prayed and I'm just like, God, help me to find a way to do what it is that, you're calling me to do. And you have to watch the passion versus purpose video first, because it all links and it ties together. But more so, there were a lot of things that I was interested in, things that I like to do, and come to find out those were passion. Those were just things that I was just really excited and very skilled at in doing. But just because you like a whole bunch of stuff doesn't mean that that is your actual purpose, right? Your purpose is, what is it that God has placed me on this earth to do while I'm still living here, right? That one thing. Or it could be more than one thing. So a couple of things that I had written down in reference to like spiritual gifts and talents and purpose and stuff. I'm not going to go through all this, but I'll state this for reference. So reference 1 Corinthians chapter 12 verses 4 through 11, and then also reference Romans chapter 12 verses 6 through 8. And within that, I was able to find like the gifts and the talents, and I'll just read some of those off. So wisdom, knowledge, faith, healing, miracles, prophecy, distinguishing between spirit, speaking in tongues, interpreting tongues, serving, teaching, encouragement, giving, leadership, mercy. And so with that, the first thing I did was pray in reference to, okay, out of these, God, show me which one is for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe we all have some type of gift, some type of talent, but I don't think they show up all at the same time, right? They show up at different stages in your life based off, you get what I'm saying, like your faith and how strong you are, you get what I'm saying, with God. And so that was the very, very first thing that I did, right? If y'all see me looking down, it's literally because I have my notes and stuff literally right here in front of me. But the very next thing that I did was I fasted, right? I had to fast from something, because it's like, okay, I need that clarity, right? I need that clarity. I need that wisdom to like really pinpoint and focus on what the purpose is, because sometimes we can get caught up between the passion and the purpose. So I went on a 90-day fast, and this is not something that you have to do. Again, you got to pray to figure out what he wants you to do. But I went on a 90-day fast, and within that, period, a lot of things transpired, personally and just everyday life, and just getting to the point of me, like I said, really figuring out what it is that I'm really supposed to do. And through that time, I began to get clarity. And like I said, through that time, not only just praying and saying, okay, Lord, show me my purpose, but asking him, for wisdom, asking him for clarity, asking him for discernment. And I'm gonna drop a few scriptures that I read. I think one was just right off the top of my head. One was James 1, I think 1 through 5. And I'll put that up on the screen as well. But basically in there, it states for anybody that lacks wisdom, basically to ask God for it and he'll give it to you, right? And so that's what I needed. But in the process of doing that, like you still have to act. You know what I'm saying? You still have to move. You can't just sit there and just wait for it to fall in your lap. Like, no, you pray for it, you ask for it, but you still continue to work towards the common goal and just do the things that you know how to do, right? And then in time, you'll start to get the clarity and you'll start to see. So from there, I did a list, and I wrote down a list of things that I like to do, things that I was good at, things that I was strong in, my strengths. I wrote all that down, and out of that list, it like literally, I want y'all to do that too. Like, take 5 minutes to literally, and I don't care how long your list is, but at least 5 things that you are good at, that you know how to do, like right off the top of your head. And it could be something simple, like my first thing was I like talking. Literally, like that's what I like to do. I like talking. I like creating videos. You know what I'm saying? I like motivating people, encouraging people. So I just literally wrote down a whole list. And then out of that list, I asked God, I say, show me my strengths out of this list. And out of this, what is it that you want me to do? How can I use what I already know to please you and to help others, right? So from there, I end up journaling. I had been journaling consistently since like April or May of 2025. And literally continuing to journal. And my therapist told me like to journal at least 5 minutes a day. So I did the 5-minute journal a day to just get things off of my chest. And then I had a prayer journal, and like I started like, writing my prayers in my journal, speaking those things out loud. Also like speaking over, my life. So reciting like affirmations. I also started to like change my daily routine and habits. And I'm telling you guys this because I know some of you guys may be like, okay, well, what does it have to do with your purpose? It has a lot to do with it, because it also starts with the mindset. You can't have a negative mindset and think God's going to drop the purpose onto you, because you're going to look at things differently, right? You have to have the positive mindset. You have to speak over your life. You have to be in alignment with all of those things. So your daily routine also has to change as well. So, waking up early, like I say, praying, doing the journals, doing the prayer journal, reading, different scriptures in the Bible. I listen to different podcasts. So based off of either a podcast that I'm watching or a motivational speech that I'm listening to, or, something like that, it may have a scripture here and there, and I'll, go reference that. There is a app that I use called Bible Chat. So that has different, of course, it has the Bible in it, but it also has different like study plans that you can do. What else it has in there? If you have like a question or something that you're literally going through, like in your personal life or professional life, you can ask it like in the chat, and it will give you like biblical principles and scriptures to reference. So I just started doing that, literally, did I say wake up? I don't know if I said waking up early, but waking up a little bit early, working out. I've been working out consistently since September of 2025. Working out, because working out helps relieve stress, but it also makes you feel good. And so I try to do that, early in the morning. A couple of books that I started reading, and I'll drop those in the chat too. I'll drop them in the description of this video, but I used to, sometimes I listen to a lot of audiobooks. And then I end up reading The Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Myers. I have a devotional called The Confidence Woman. That's by Joyce Myers as well. I'm now rereading, and some of those I have read before, but I'm rereading another one called The 5 Love Languages. Because like I said, not only, trying to get myself, spiritually, but, in my personal life as well. So, but taking the time out to do something that's beneficial. So reading those books, getting, different understanding, different knowledge, just all from different perspectives. You just want to find something positive to continue to keep pouring into you. And for me, as I was reading those different things, as I was going through the different devotionals, as I was bettering myself, was when I started to gain the discernment and the clarity and the wisdom through that to actually find what my purpose is, and that confirmation as well. So you can't just go and say, okay, Lord, tell me what to do, and then you don't act, right? You have to say it, keep praying over it, but you literally have to act. And don't try to figure out like everything all at once, because he didn't give it to me all at once. There were, like I said, continue to take the steps, he will give it to you. Then you have to like be still. You have to be still and wait for him to literally answer your question that you are asking, and answer those prayers. because I had went to therapy one time. My therapist was like, okay, so what did God say? I said, he ain't tell me nothing yet. And she was like, no, you're not listening. You're not being still. And so that's just another thing. And so when you change your routine, you start to do better. That's when you'll start receiving, those things, because you can hear more clearly, and that's why I had to do the fast, because I had to block certain things out. I had to just stop, just a few things for that moment, because it's like, okay, I got to get back to me. I know my goals, I had my goals written down for the remainder of 2026. And I'm also trying to do goals set for each month. And even the goals that I don't accomplish, like from January, I roll them over into February. And you want to continue to keep doing that until you, reach those things. And there have been some things that I have accomplished in January. But the things that I haven't, I just rolled them over to February. But I also wrote down additional things that I want to accomplish for February as well. So that's another thing, writing down goals. Literally writing down goals. And if y'all haven't watched some of the other videos, you have to write these things down. Write it down, make it plain, because you're not going to remember everything. But when you write your things down, then you have to start acting on it. And then you can go back, you can reread it, you can go back, you can pray over that, speak over those things over your life. So much stuff in our mind just literally gets bottled up, literally, that we forget. We just forget, because you like, oh, well, I want to get a home, or, I want to get this job, or I want to go to school again. And then you have the other daily hassles that are going on throughout the day as well. So how can you possibly remember every single little positive thing? You can't. So you got to write those things down. So that is why I created the Believe Your Vision Journal. And so with this Believe Your Vision Journal, it is a blank journal. And at the bottom, it says, remember, always believe in yourself. But more importantly, this journal I made is because, again, this is for you to write every single thing that you desire down in this journal. It's not a journal for you to write your feelings. Oh, I didn't have a good day today. That's not for this. It's not for this particular journal. I have some journals for that, but not for this one. This one is to say, hey, I'm declaring X, Y, Z over my life. You get what I'm saying? And you literally write those things down. Write your business plans, write your goals, your desires. All of that goes in here. You go back, you look over it, and you pray over it. Okay? And so this is available on Amazon. Also, I will put the link to this as well in the description. What I want to leave with you today is a few questions to actually ask yourself. So before I do that, sometimes, and a lot of times, our purpose typically also comes from our pain, right? Something that either we have gone through or currently going through, or something that we, learned from. It's typically those things, because it's about helping others and, serving others, but also God gets the glory in the process of that. So a couple of questions that I want you to write down and to also answer to yourself. And there's a lot, but what problems do you naturally notice and care about? What do people come to you for without you trying? What topics light you up even when you are tired? So that's going to get you moving, right? Because sometimes purpose, it leaves clues. So and you can answer these questions in your mind, or you can physically write out your answers. But these are just some questions that I want to leave with you so you can kind of start thinking about. Going back to finding your purpose through your pain. So those questions are, what have you overcome that others are still struggling with? What lessons did life force you to learn? What do you now help people with because you understand it deeply? So those are just a couple of questions that I want you to just kind of ask yourself. Also, make sure you write your list down. And then going back to, like I said, speaking over your life. So instead of what am I supposed to do with my life, ask, what do I, or what is it that I bring impact to, right? How do I want people to feel after interacting with me? And then the last question is, what values do I refuse to compromise? Okay. So all of those questions, writing your list down, praying, journaling, fasting, all of that will help you in, the process of finding that. Now, you may not find it in the timing that I found it, because again, you literally have to continue to put forth the effort and just take little small baby steps. This is not something that I just did in the 90 days and then found my purpose. I've known some of this stuff for a while, but the 90-day fast was the firm confirmation. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like I said, I've been doing the changing and the more different morning routines and stuff since like April or May of 2025. And then when I did the fast, it was October 2025. So I was already in the process of acting and bettering myself before I got to that point. And again, everybody's gonna receive their own, confirmation at different times. But the thing about it is you just continue to keep pressing forward, continue to keep moving. Don't allow the timing to, deter you away, right? Don't allow like the things that you've gone through in your past to hinder you from continuing to move forward. And that's what it also says on the journal, accepting your past, present, and future, because your past makes you who you are. In your present today, you want to accept the past for what you've gone through, but then make better choices today so it can better your future. So that is all that I have for today. If you have not already looked at those other videos, make sure that you check those out. I will see you guys next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode on Believe Your Vision. And until next time, see ya.